Okay, now I'm gonna make a little video showing you how to hook up this wireless remote start box for the Predator 420 engine. It'll also work on the Honda GX390 and I think the 270, the 340, and the 240. They all have the same little control box, so they have the same connections. And like I said on the other video, this is just a Honda clone, so it has the same connections on the Predator engines. So what we're going to look for is this bullet connector right here on the yellow wire going to the oil pressure switch. All right, there it is. And then right here on top of the starter, you have your black wire with the white stripe, and it's going to a little spade connector. That's your starter wire. And then right here, this is the power to your starter solenoid. Just take a 10mm wrench. Be careful not to touch this to anything metal when you're taking it off. You could also disconnect your battery. Let me see. Am I going the right way up? Wrong way and backwards. Not a whole lot of stud left on that, I don't think. I know what I did there. I put some Loctite on that so it wouldn't wiggle off when I hooked it up. I always put thread locker on everything on these trailers. It just shakes so much with all these engines. I'm always having to replace nuts if I don't do that on everything. So. Alright. Get that off. Flat washer. Okay. Everything's labeled on this box. This is labeled to starter solenoid. So this is going to go here. All right. I'm not even going to put the lock washer back for now. Just temporary. Let's see. And the only difference between this setup for these engines and the one for the GX200, the GX160, and the Predator 212 is instead of 2 3-ways with bullet connectors, you have a 3-way with a spade connector for these engines. So the spade connector, so it says to starter wire black and white, that's this here. So you just plug this onto there and plug this onto there. There you go. And take this yellow one to oil pressure switch, yellow, plug it right here. And that's plugged in. And then take your little self-tapping screw. I think it's a 5/16 head nut driver, and take a look at this. This is what I was talking about on the other video. If you'll notice on this skid plate, if I were to screw the ground into this part, it wouldn't get a ground. This is one of those skid plates that have the rubber bushings here and here between this little part and the engine. So I actually have to screw it into this part if I want to make a ground, not this part. So the rubber's insulating it. All right. This says to ground. There we go. Now it's ready to go. You can mount it to here, or you know, wherever you see fit. Like I said, it's a cold day out today. It might start, might not. You might have to choke it first. There we go. Once you run the engine for a little while and it gets warmed up, then you generally don't have to go back and choke it. Just on a very cold day at the beginning of the day, sometimes I'll come out here, I'll be on the job site, and I won't even have to choke these bigger engines. The smaller engines, I hardly ever have to choke that one. But on the Predator, it doesn't quite start as good as the Hondas. The Predators don't, so I don't know about the smaller one. And I haven't tried it on a larger Honda, but you know, say if you just start washing the house downstreaming, run your surface cleaner for 10-15 minutes, the engine gets real good and hot, and then it'll pop right off. So